Hello, everyone. This is John Galt speaking here with a live stream video. As you guys can see from the title, I'm going to be screwing around with some assets because of a potential acceptance of a new project. Okay, so someone has contacted me via email and asked me if I would be interested in doing a I don't know what you would call this, actually. So they're technically not hiring me to do a job for them, but they are wanting a series of, I guess you would call them private tutorials, right? So you guys know I used to do that in the past. I used to do private tutorials and private mentoring. And I kind of stepped away from that, and I haven't accepted any of that stuff for quite a long time now, actually. It's probably been about 2 years now since I have accepted any of that stuff. Well, someone contacted me and asked me if I would be interested in mentoring them or tutoring them in a paid series of videos that they would like to make, like for me to make. With even their possible participation. So, it may be me and this other person connected in like a Discord server and doing video screen sharing between each other and talking about concepts or asking me how I would go about doing a particular mechanic or something like that. And oddly enough, the reason that this has came up is because they've saw some videos of mine from the past where I was contemplating creating a tribes / firefall style game. You guys remember that? And somehow or another they seen those videos, which I don't even think any of them even exist anymore. And that's exactly what he wants to do. Oddly enough, he wants to create a sci-fi themed jetpacking shooter, third-person shooter style, ability-driven style game. And he was curious if I'd be interested in it, and I told him I might. And so this live stream, what I'm going to be doing in this live stream is basically just dicking around with some assets. And I'll let you guys know in the future, you guys that come to my YouTube channel often, for this crap that I do, right? Whatever it is that I do. And I'll let you guys know what the status of that is, whether I accept the project. And if I do, is it going to in fact be 100% private, or will there be a way for any of you guys that would like to participate in these to be able to participate, right? Like hang out and talk and listen while we're doing this stuff. So I don't know. I haven't decided one way or the other, but I am considering it, right? So there is that. I am considering it. I don't know exactly how much time I would devote to it or even exactly how much I would charge this fellow, because you guys know this ain't going to be free, right? You guys know I have to make a living just like everybody else does. And so this wouldn't be something that would be accessed for free. There would have to be a way that I would be compensated for it. And at the same time, I haven't set a price for this fellow, but he knows it ain't going to be cheap. Okay. And so me and him are going to have to talk about how this is exactly going to go, because it wouldn't be fair or proper for him to pay for all this and then you guys get access to it for free, right? So you see what I'm saying here? So I'll have to talk to him and see what he thinks about it. And he may just say he wants it private and not even give anyone else the opportunity to be able to participate in this. And if that's his choice and he's willing to, and he's paying for it, well, then he gets final say. So he may even actually show up in the stream today. I told him I was going to do a stream today and mess around with some stuff and, you know, get some ideas as to, you know, whether or not I'm going to do this or not. But anyway, as with always, doesn't every project start with animations? Doesn't it? Doesn't every single project start with animations? What animations are you going to use? What kind of animations are you going to use? Are you going to use free animations? Are you going to use paid animations? Are you going to make your own animations? Or is it going to be some kind of a conglomerated mixture of all? Okay. So that's what this is. That's what we're going to dick around with in this stream. Okay. So what I have done here is created a project, and this will be in Unreal Engine 5, by the way. So if I do choose to do this, the whole entire thing will be done in Unreal Engine 5. But I'm going to go into Unreal Engine 4 for a little bit, just to kind of skirt around with a couple things and see, you know. So what I have done here is, this is a Unreal Engine 4.15, a third-person shooter template, the default crap. And what I have done is I went and got the free animations that are online on the marketplace for the MCO mocap basics, these animations. And I was just going to kind of look in here and, you know, see what these look like. I've used these before and I actually own all of them. But, you know, this really wasn't the kind of animation that I needed. Not saying that they're terrible animations, they're just not the kind I need. So I put these in here just to have another look at them. Okay. And of course, all these are unarmed animations, so they may or may not be even useful. So I don't know. We'll see. So that's a run animation. And these are all only forward too, right? So there's no backward, left, right, forward, left, forward, right, none of that stuff. And I also put in the animation starter pack that's free from Epic, which you guys all know and love this thing. I'm sure we've all used this about 1,000,000 times. And there is some jog animations in here that I use quite a bit. And so that's a potential. There's also all the animations that are on the Paragon characters could be sourced too. They're free. They don't cost anything. So I'm just kind of looking around at some animations, kind of looking for, you know, what kind of feel I might want for this. It will definitely be a fast-paced shooter, obviously. So, you know, there ain't going to be no walks or any of that crap. Like, as an example, this has some iron sights animations in it. And these are for walking, right? And see how slow that is. So, I don't know. And you can mix and match animations too. So, that's a potential. I could do some of that stuff. Well, let's see here. What are we going to start out with? Well, the first thing I need to do is get all these stupid. Oh, and by the way, also the Lyra animations are a possibility as well. So that project that Epic gives out has some animations in that. That's a potential as well. So what I think I will do first is export out. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess I better do it that way. Export out some of these animations and bring them into an Unreal Engine 5 project, get them onto that mannequin, and start from there just to kind of see what this stuff looks like. That would be the first thing to do. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take jog forward and the iron sights walk forward. And we're going to export these. Asset actions, export. And I'm just going to stick these on the desktop here. And then we will take the Modus digital animations in place. We don't do root motion. So there is a walk forward and a jog forward. So we'll take both of those. Asset actions, export. And we'll put those on the desktop as well. Okay. And then we will go into an Unreal Engine 5 project, which would be this one, which is basically just the default third-person shooter template, or the third-person template that comes from Epic. I hadn't done anything to these. I'm drinking me an energy drink too, by the way. So if I get all jacked up, you guys will know what happened here. All right, so we'll start out by making a new folder. And I'm just going to call it testing. And we will import those animations. Now you'll notice those animations that I just exported, all these are for the UE4 mannequin, right? And we're going to be trying to get them on the UE5 mannequin. So there might be a little finagling has to go here. What? What did I just do? Yeah, I meant to do that. That's what I meant to do. Okay, and we're going to put it on the... I think this is the new skeleton. We will say import all, just like so. And the imported bones are different. Well, imagine that. Of course they are. That doesn't mean that they don't work. It just means they're different. So if we look at the jog forward, let's see how jacked up this is. Oh yeah, completely jacked up. But, there is actually a fix for this. So what we're going to do is go into the skeleton tree of this character here. We're going to select the root. We're going to right click. Actually, we're not. We're going to hit this cog right here. And we're going to say show retargeting options. And you see how all these are set to either animation or animation scaled? Do you guys see that? See what I'm talking about here? So what we're going to do is take the root, we're going to right click, and we're going to say recursively set translation retargeting to skeleton. See that? And we're going to click that. And then we're going to set the root to be animation, the center of mass animation, the IK foot animation. Basically all the IKs are going to be animation. And I believe the pelvis will be animation. And voila, we fixed it. Imagine that. All right, so that should have fixed all of them, right? So all these animations that I imported that were acting really derpy, looking really derpy, that should have fixed them. There's those Modus digital animations. The walk. Run. Why is that character's head looking up? Do you guys see that? I think it's because these characters actually have, I don't know, 5 pelvis bones or 5 spine bones. And then they got like 2 neck bones and stuff, I think. That is probably what is doing that. See how it's got a neck 01 and 02? But I ain't going to worry about that right just this minute. Okay. All right, now we're going to make an animation blueprint for testing purposes. That's it. That will be for that. Let's go ahead and save everything before this decides to blow up. And we will open this. And this is a completely blank animation blueprint. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to blend some of these animations together and see if I can come up with some sort of a concoction that might be usable, right? If I decide to do this project or not. So we're going to be using a layered blend per bone node. And we're going to plug this in here. And we're going to select that. And we're going to set this to be, well, the layer setup. We're going to go in here. We're going to add a branch filter. And we're going to split this character at spine _ 0, 1. And we're going to spread that blend across like 5 bones. We'll try that. And then we're going to bring in some of these animations, right? And so the Lyra animations, waiting for skinned asset to be ready. What? Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. So I think, let's see here. Oh, this run forward. What does that look like? Is that the one that comes in this default template? Whoa, whoa. Yeah, I believe it is. But it's not looping, so that's fine. Okay. So I guess we could start out with maybe the mocap, the Modus Digitals. What was that called? Moby. Jog. Use that as the base. Why is this not fucking loop? Yeah. Loop the animation, shithead. Why is that not on by default? I don't know. I didn't build this engine. Okay, so we have that. And of course, the upper body ain't doing crap because we're splitting it. So if I plug this up this way, now you can see that's the run forward, jog forward of the Modus Digital. So what we can do is take the lower half of that animation and we can compile that with like the walk, walk forward iron sights, right? We could do this. And now it blends those two together. So the upper body is of that walk and the lower part is the Modus Digital animations. And we could also do the jog. So we could do something like that. And I bet these animations ain't looped there. Of course not. Why is that not on by default? That don't make no sense to me. Whatever. This is all just experimentation anyway. You know, honestly, that right there don't look terrible. Like I've seen worse. And what do you expect for free, right? I mean, there is an awful lot of head movement in that. Maybe we will drop that down to 3, maybe. Well, them don't really blend together worth a damn, actually. But you could speed up the animations too, right? So you could double the speed of the upper body. Yeah, that makes it completely worse. All right, well, we tried that. I'm not 100% convinced that that's worth a damn. So now what we'll do is we will switch this up a little bit. So if we take the jog forward rifle and use that as the base pose instead, and then we use something like the iron sights for the upper body, then you end up with something like that. Which that's not 100% terrible either. And if we set this back to 5 bone, might smooth it out some too. So it looks like Nightshade has joined, or Night Shadow has joined us. Thoughts on Unreal Engine 5? It's a pain in the ass, just like all the rest of them. So there. That's all I could say about it. Would I ever do a video showing how to do ADS? I assume that stands for aim down sights. That's not hard to do. It depends on what kind of aim down sights you're talking about, because there's about 50 different ways that people do that. One is, you switch the character from, well, to give you an example, you would switch the character from this pose, which is hip. You would switch him from that to that, right? And when you do that switch, you would slow the character's movement speed down so he's not moving as fast, obviously. And then if you're looking at a camera in the third person view, you might take the camera from here to here, right? That's one way. Another way is they stick a camera on the goddamn sights of the gun, right? And they try to make it where you look down the sights of the gun. So there's a couple different ways to do that. And just to be perfectly honest with you, I'm not a fan of aim down sights. Unless it's this one, right? Where you go from that to that. And you, increase the accuracy of the weapon and you slow the character down a little bit and you zoom the camera from way back behind the character to, a little closer up. But as far as putting a camera on the gun and trying to aim it down the damn sights, I hate that mechanic. It makes me claustrophobic to even play a game that has that. And this one is not hard to do, actually. That's not hard to do at all. Okay, now what was I doing again? Oh yeah, dicking with animations. Well, there ain't none of them actually terrible. So that could be something that is used. Maybe. And then there's also the Lyra. animations, which we haven't even went and looked at yet. So maybe we will go look at those. So let's open that, shall we? There was something about these animations in this Libra project that I didn't like. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I guess we're fixing to find out. Night Shadow. Would you ever consider working for a AAA studio? Well, I have done work for AAA studios, but I have never worked directly at a AAA studio. I was always used as a subcontractor most of the time. And the problem with working at a AAA game studio is they want you to pack your shit up from where you live and move to wherever their offices are so that you can get laid off in 6 months, right? So I would never consider packing up and moving to work for anybody. But I have done contract work for AAA studios in the past. A-Rock. A-Rich. I think that's Hell Monkey. You should definitely be back to Hell Monkey, but I think that's who that is. Not sure. It's finally started warming up here in Tennessee. Pretty good anyway. Everything is green. I've already had to have my lawn mowed twice this year already. Oh, and for Night Shadow, who asked my thoughts on UE5, well, another thing that I can tell you about UE5 is these goddamn shaders that are forever fucking compiling. That's another thing that sucks pretty good. Ugh. And I have a 8-core 16 thread processor with 32 gigs of RAM and an RTX, what is it, 2070? And it still takes forever to open this shit and compile these shaders and stuff. So that's something that sucks. Night Shadow, do you know how to code in C++? No, I do not. I don't think I can ever recall writing a single line of C++. I've never had to, right? So, you asking the main difference between C++ and blueprints? Well, obviously C++ would be more efficient and optimized, but I have never. One of the arguments people use a lot is that there are things that you can do in C++ that you can't in blueprints. And I have never ran across a single thing that I've tried to do in this engine in blueprints that I have not been able to achieve. Doesn't mean it's as efficient as far as performance is concerned, but most of the stuff that I do is prototyping, R&D, that kind of stuff, and I don't have to write code to be able to do that. You know, if I do something in Blueprint and they want to optimize it and make it more efficient, well, they will be the ones that would optimize it and write it in C++. I've never had to do that. Proof of concept and stuff is most of what I did. Like somebody would come to me with an idea for a type of game or a type of a mechanic that they would like to see in a working game environment put together, and they would play it and see if their concept worked out the way that they thought it would. And if it did, Well, then they would take it and, you know, do whatever magic wizardry the C++ coders they have do. And you know, this is never going to open, by the way. I've been sitting here waiting on this stupid Lyra starter game to open for what, 20 minutes now? That was a bad idea. I should have just never opened that. Bad idea. All to look at some animations that I don't even probably like. There was something about these animations that I didn't like. We're only at 45% here. And by the way, this project that I'm opening, it's written in C++. So if this is any, you know, idea, well, here you go. And that's the shaders, right? So the shaders, that is the materials, basically. So whatever crappy materials they used in here is taking forever to compile. And if you've ever looked at any of the materials that, you know, Epic puts together, some of them are insane at the amount of instructions they have in them. Oh, hey, there's Mert Guyver back. What's happening, dude? I seen you here before. Night Shadow. Have I ever used Unity? No. And oh, by the way, guys, I want to mention something here because of I think it was the last live stream that I did where there were some people wondering why I don't include project files with the tutorials that I have on Udemy and all that stuff. Would you guys believe that course that I just put on Udemy, what, a week ago, 2 weeks ago, has already been pirated and is on on pirate websites for free? Would you guys believe that? So, and it ain't you guys, by the way, just so you know, I'm not giving you guys shit. But what I am going to say here is for all those people who give me shit about, well, why would I pay you to do a tutorial when I can go find them for free on YouTube? And my advice to them always has been, well, go get it for free then. The projects that I sell on the Unreal Engine Marketplace, oh, that's too expensive. I wouldn't pay shit for that, right? All of the things that I have ever used to monetize myself as a game designer and a game dev, every single thing that I have ever done has been stolen. Okay? So when I tell you guys that there ain't no money in this industry, that's exactly what I mean. When you're in the business of creating digital content, whether it's tutorial videos, whether it is games that you try to make, whether it is templates and projects that you sell, somebody is going to steal that shit and distribute it for free after you've put, you know, all that hard work and effort into it. So just to let you guys know, it took that long for that course to already be pirated. And then people wonder why I don't include the goddamn project files. That's why. People go on there, they buy the course, they download all the videos and the project files, and then they turn right around and request a fucking refund. And then they got it for free, and then they go distribute it all over the pirate websites for free too. So ain't that a fine how do you do? Okay, so what was we doing? We were going to look at some animations right in here. Let's see. let's see. What was it? Jog forward. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Oh, I remember what it was. One of the things that I did not like about these animations is that when you're jogging, your rifle is not pointed in the aim position, right? So when you put in your fire weapon mechanics or whatever, there's only two things that you can do here. Is either you do not allow the character to shoot when he's jogging, or you have to put in a tiny delay in your fire weapon logic in order to give the character time for his arms to go up so that he's actually aiming before you start letting the goddamn weapon fire. So that was one of the things about these animations that I did not like. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we can't blend these lower body animations with some different upper body animations. So that could be done too. The other ones are the walk animations, right? Isn't that right? Yeah, see how slow he goes when he's in the aim position? Now, that may be something that, is not a big deal to some people, but I want my characters to move fast. And so that is actually problematic for um, what I do. But actually, that could even be done in here, right? Let's go dick around with that for a second. How about that? Let's do that. Oh, add new folder, testing. Why am I always testing? It's not very much fun. Make a animation blueprint for son of a bitch. Which one of these is it? I guess it's that one. Yep. And then we'll do the same thing. Layered blend per bone. And we will split this character same as we did the other one at 9, 0, 1 across 5 bones, which technically it's 7 if you count the neck bones. Then we take jog, damn, man, this thing's got a shitload of animations in it. Jog forward rifle. That there. And of course it ain't looping because why would it be? Then we take the walk. Rifle walk forward. Set that to loop. Plug that in here. And then you end up with that. Oh yeah, that looks great. Look at that damn gun swinging. That's terrible. Yeah, that won't quite work there. Maybe we could do an idle. see. Well, hell, that's supposed to be at his hip. That ain't even the right damn animation. Oh, there's something screwed here. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to look like. No, that ain't right either. Well, whatever. Probably on the wrong damn skeleton. All right, let's bring Chad over here. I just finished setting Lyra up as a battle royale. I believe it. I bought your multiplayer FPS with blueprints course recently, and it's way better than any free one. Well, thank you for that. Thank you very much. It's better than the BS in the marketplace too. Well, thank you for that. What made you want to be a game dev? Being a gamer, of course. There's actually two things that really got me into this. One is a gamer, being an old school gamer, right? So I've always been intrigued by games and never really had the opportunity to figure out how to make them, but I've always liked games. The other thing is that I like to solve problems. Okay. And most of the things that you do when you're making games is solving problems. And I'm really good at that. And so those two things is what led me to get into game dev. Loving games and trying to understand the mechanics behind them and being a really good problem solver. And so when I started messing with the first engine that I ever messed with was modding games. So Tribes games, which was my very first games that I loved. Tribes 1, Tribes 2, not so much the other ones, but Tribes 1 and 2. And those games came with the ability to make mods for them, built right into the game, right? So it came with it. And so I first got started by doing mods to the current games, Tribes 1 and 2. And then UDK was made available, which is Unreal Engine 3. And so I started messing with that, which was far more than just making mods. At that point, you're actually using that to make games with. And I did a lot of that. And then I got into Unreal Engine 4 when it was still in beta and you had to pay to access it. And that's when I really started getting into making games. And that was I think at 2014 when I started creating my own mechanics and not just using mostly pre-built mechanics. When you're modding games, you're not really building games. You're using their engine and all their mechanics, and you're making new maps and making guns shoot faster than they're supposed to, but you're not really changing the mechanics of the game that much. Okay. So I'm not sold on using these animations either. Because of that. That right there is what really just bums me out about it. That. And if you're not doing that, well, then the only other option you have is doing that. And that's really just way too damn slow. That's just way too damn slow. I mean, you could speed the animation up, but you know, that'd probably look like shit. See if we go 2 times as fast here. Oh shit. You put the number in the wrong box, moron. Oh yeah, that looks fantastic. No, not at all. So no, you can't just speed that up. That's too slow. This speed is good. But when you blend those two together, it looks like hammered ass for some reason. Gun's way too moving around too much. And that is totally not hip fire. Surely Epic wouldn't have named their animations incorrect in here. Surely not. That's an additive animation there. Oh yeah, that ain't gonna work for shit. Hmm. Well, I don't know. I guess I would have to figure out something though. Wait a minute. I wonder something. You know, it could be, the reason that looks like shit is because of this project. So there is one more thing that I could try here. That is export these out and take them in a different project. Export that to the desktop. Take walk. Okay. Bring these two. Well, of course it's got root motion on it, because why wouldn't it, right? Damn you, Epic Games. You don't never make anything easy, do you? There we go. And then let's see what happens when I blend this in with that. Well, of course it does the exact same thing. Which is strange to me. I think it's something to do with these damn skeletons. Let's try this. Let's take these animations into Unreal Engine 4 and see what they look like on the old gray dummy. Don't make me switch a skeleton out, because I will. I'll take the new mannequin and put it on the old UE4 skeleton. Don't think I won't do that. I will. Okay. Let's try this, shall we? Oh God, which one is it? Let's see here. Oh hell, we can just put it on that one. Oh yeah, his arms look great, don't they? It's just hard to get good animations anymore. Shit, I'll never find him. All right, we'll do it that way. Or we won't. Can you not? Yeah, you can. Bring them both, shithead. Oh, wait a minute. I know why. I forgot to check that in that other project. I bet you that is exactly why that looked like hammered ass. Hold on a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. I forgot the magic button. That'll do it. Imagine that. I'm going to fix all the problems. See this magic button right here called Mesh Space Rotation Blend? Voila. Why didn't you guys tell me that? Why didn't you tell me that? You could have saved me a lot of trouble. Now that don't look terrible. And see that's using the Iron Sights animation. So this is the one that actually came from Lyra right here. And now it's playing Rifle Hip. Wait a damn minute. That is the Rifle Hip. That's not what I'm looking for. But that right there, that ain't terrible. Look up that. Hmm. I may use them after all. Of course, it looks like shit on this mannequin, but I wouldn't be using this one anyway. Well, okay then. I guess that answers my question. Okay, now the next thing about what this guy is wanting me to do is, well, I mean, he asked very specific questions that would have to be answered. So let's see if I can find enough reference to be able to actually do what he's asking to do. So well, I mean, I guess they'll tell you how many different ways that it died. I don't know if you can even find enough material for this. I mean, there's no way in hell I'd be able to remember every damn ability that this game had. Oh, great. And this is some guy just doing tutorials. Lovely. Maybe we should try this. I'll never be able to find this in a million years. Wow, there's still an archive for this? It says they've moved. Oh, here we go. That's just the damn icons for that. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not what I'm looking for. I want to see a video of some of these abilities. It seems so long ago that this game was actually a thing. Oh God, this website's not secure. What went wrong with Firefall? I can tell you there's two things that went wrong with Firefall. Mark Kern and China. That's what went wrong with Firefall. Those two things alone is what killed that game. Good God, look, 8 years ago. So yeah, that's been a hot minute. Good God, can I not find a single fucking video that's not just bashing the shit out of the game? Like there used to be all kinds of videos of, showing the abilities of the battle frames and all that stuff, but I guess all that shit's long gone. Now. Redfall. Is Firefall still a thing? Nope. Ah, here we go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Inferno Dash. Okay, I remember that. Thermal cannon. And I think that's called Inferno. That's Inferno Dash. There was one called Burn Jets. Seems like it made them hover. No, that's Thermal Wave. Oh, yeah, that was a shit ability. Immolate. That's the HKM. And that's Inferno Dash. Fuel Air Bomb. This is the Burn Jets, I think. I don't think these abilities would be that hard to recreate, actually. I've got the audio muted on these videos so that I don't get dinged for copyright. Okay. You guys bored on the stream yet? Well, we're going to go in the engine and dick around for a little bit. How about that? Because why not? Oh, shit. That ain't what I meant to do. Damn it. Let's try this again, shall we? There, that's what I meant to do. Okay. Let's change this character out, first of all. Okay. Okay, so if I remember correctly, the way that burn jets worked was you could activate it from any height, actually. And so we'll just try to set something up here and see if we can make burn jets. Because why not? What else we got to do on a fine Saturday? Nothing. Don't act like you got something to do. Nothing. So we'll just make it the number 1 key. There. Right there, isn't it? Let's just see if that works. Yep. All right, that's all I needed to know. Okay, so obviously that game has jetpacks, which this game, this don't have jetpacks. But what I'm trying to do is just to see if I can mimic something like that. Like, how would we do it? Well, I mean, you could do it from any height, honestly, I believe. Let's just jack up his jump height, right? Let's see if that'll make it where he can like jump super, super high. Launch Z velocity, where the hell is that at? Jump Z velocity. So let's set this to something like 2000 and just see if that makes him jump like stupid high. Oh, yeah. Okay. So then so when we mash this button, we would need it to stop the movement of the character. Okay, so I think from the character movement, there is a stop movement immediately. Okay, and then to make him float, you would have to set his gravity to 0. Set gravity scale to 0. So let's see if that'll make the character float. Shall we? All right, go. And there he is, floating. And you can still move around, but you are floating. Okay, and then to get him to come back down, you would just simply set the gravity back to whatever it is by default, which is 1.75. So you would put a delay, and this would be the duration of the ability, however long you want it to last. And then you would set gravity scale back to 1.75. And that should make him fall back down after this duration, which we would just say, what, 5 seconds maybe? Five, four, three, two, one, ball. And there he goes. And then you can do it again. Okay. Now, if you do it while the character is on the ground, right? So, yeah, that's problematic, right? So that's why, you know, that other one has burn jets. So, I mean, has jetpacks. So obviously, you would want the character to be in the air before this could happen. So, let's see. From the character movement, you could get is falling. And I'm just roughing this in here just to see if it's possible. So this is not for multiplayer. This is just me screwing around. So don't steal my stuff. I'm just kidding. So the character has to be falling before you can even activate this ability. So in other words, that means the character has to be in the air. Because if you set the character's gravity to 0 while he's on the ground, well, he can jump and he has no gravity when he jumps. I mean, is that a problem? Yeah, probably. So now if we try to activate it and then jump, we can be in the air and it will activate it. Okay, so then what happens after that point? Well, fire comes out the bottom of his feet and goes down towards the ground, which obviously I don't have any particle effects in here. But what we would do is, I mean, do you want it to be technical or do you want it to be faked? Right? If any of you guys have ever watched my live streams, there's plenty of ways to fake it till you make it, or you could be more precise and technical about it. So what you would do is you would do some sort of a trace, right? Now, the question is this: do you want it to come from each individual foot? Or do you just want it to have fire coming out of both of them, firing straight down? That's all debatable. So you could do a sphere trace by sphere trace by channel. And honestly, this would probably need to fire over and over and over again. Okay, so what you would do is set timer. Well, I mean, you could cheat it, right? Well, let's just fake it till we make it, right? So what we could do is we could hold down the S key, make 2 sequences, hold down the G key to get a gate, and we would open the gate with then 0, enter it, and then do this, and then use a retriggerable delay here, like this. Come out of then 1 and go into here, and then come out of that and go back into enter. And that would go here. That would activate this. Oh, wait a minute. We need a sequence here. Because we need that to do that. And we need it to do this. That would be the sphere trace coming down. So where would we come from? Well, why not just get actor location? And then we would add, wait, so the actor location would be this. And then we need it to go down. So let's see, that would be get actor rotation. From the rotation, we would get up vector. And then we would multiply that by an amount. Multiply by float. Add, no, plus. Add this and this together. That would be the end. And this would convert pen to, well, it could be a float or an integer. Let's see, negative 4,000. Maybe that'll be enough to get it done. Set the radius to, I don't know, 50. And draw debug, for duration, actors to ignore, self. Make array. Okay. Let's just see if this does any of that. There it is. So obviously that's probably too far, right? Because you wouldn't want that to have an infinite distance. So in other words, if you're all the way up there shooting those traces out, depending on how long you want the burn jets to be, like what I'm saying is if you're all the way up here and you're doing that and it's able to do the burn jets all the way from this height, that's kind of derpy. Okay, so, and we need it to turn off. So when this delay is over, I'm just jacking this in here, right? So let's put another sequence here. And we will do this. And then when the delay is over, we will close that gate, which will stop the tracing. And for the distance, that's too far. So let's cut that in half and start there. That's still too far. So that would only, you would only be able to allow that to be something like, I don't know, shit, 500 if that. Yeah, see there, that wouldn't reach the ground. So depending on how far you want the burn jets to be able to go, that would have to be adjusted to match. So if we go here, right, see, obviously that's still not hitting. So you would have to let it get closer to the ground. There, that's hitting. Okay. All right, so let's just add something in here just to say we did. Add feature content pack. Is there anything in this damn starter content bullshit we could just stick in here just for effect? We got some explosions and some fire. Okay. On emitter at location. Fine. Branch. If it hits something, do this. Break these. That will be at the impact point. Impact normal. Make rot from Z. Use that for the rotation. The emitter. Well, hell, let's put explosions on it first. Let's just blow the shit out of it. How about that? Awesome. All right, so if we were to do fire, and of course you would probably have to make some damn effects for this. And you would have to make it look like fire was coming out of his feet. And you would have to let that burn for a duration, and it would have to be causing damage while it's burning. So you would have to figure out, let's see here. Well, what you could do is make a separate actor that has a sphere in it, right? And or you would do, let's see, if you were doing damage over time, because that's what that ability did, right? It did damage over time. So in order to accomplish that, you would either have to spawn spheres or boxes or something like that while it's burning. You'd let it burn for a duration, and then you would kill the spheres that you spawn and make the fire go away. So if we were to create, let's just see here. I'm just prototyping R&D right here on the fly, guys. So don't think too much of it, okay? This is how it all begins, just so you guys know. You get an idea, and then you work it out, solving problems. So we're going to call this damage sphere. Right, and then if you open this and then just add, actually no, right? Because what you would need it to do is apply damage for a duration. So this would be something more along the lines of on event begin play, you would do another sphere trace by channel. Turn the draw debug on for duration. Set the radius. This would be whatever radius you wanted the fire to be. So let's just see what it looks like if we do 50. And this would have to keep spawning. So we would probably want to put another one of these things in here. So I'm going to hit Control C to copy that. Control V to paste that in here. That would go here. Here. And ignore self. Make array. There might be I might do this a different way, but this is just to see if this concept would even work. Okay, and then you would get actor. Yeah, if I could spell, that would be better. Get actor location. Multiply that by some amount. We don't need the rotation, I wouldn't think. So by some. Let's just see what that does. Okay, so and this would be spawn actor from class. That would be, what the hell did I call that thing? Damage sphere. And the spawn transform would be well, we split this and we use the impact point. I mean, the rotation, I wouldn't imagine matters. All right, let's see if it does anything. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah, no, that's not doing what I'm trying to do. It's going to 0. Okay. Maybe we do need the rotation. I don't remember how you make it just do a trace in place. Yeah, well, that ain't gonna work. I ain't even hitting the ground. Yeah, it's still going over there to 0, 0, 0. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. It's because we got to add these. That it? It's one of these. Oh, come on. I believe that's it right there. Yep. See them still laying there? You see the traces on the ground still running? The spears, see them? And of course you would adjust the size of that, I would imagine. You know, you could make it be a little bit bigger. And then while it's in there, that's where you would be dealing your damage, and this would be your damage rate right here. So I'm just going to put a print string in here. And just call it damage. Make it red. Okay. And of course, you know, you wouldn't be setting this up to damage yourself. So it's spamming the crap out of damage. But you would only want it to damage players, right? So let's put something else in here to filter this out. So we would break this. And we would get the hit actor. And let's just do a cast to the third person character. That way, if we're pretending we're dealing damage right here, which we're not, but we're pretending we are, we only want this to print string like it's dealing damage if it's hitting a character. Now, obviously, if you were scripting this for reals, you would probably be doing a team-based game or a co-op game, and you would make it where you can't damage yourself or your other players. But I'm just laying these out here and simulating it. So the spears are still there, and it spawns an actor. And that actor is doing a sphere trace repeatedly at 0.2, which is what we set that delay to. So that means whatever damage we were being administering, if we're in one of those little spheres, it's not doing it. Why is it not? What did I do? I broke it already. Perfect. $50. So it was doing this until I put this cast in. So somehow or another, this cast is failing. So it's probably, let's see here. It's probably detecting the ground, but that should make it where it would still detect. Maybe it's because it needs to be a multi-sphere trace by channel. Or there might be one for trace for actors only. Well, I'll tell you what, let's just print out what it's hitting. See, it may not be detecting. These traces are funny sometimes. Sometimes it only registers what the first thing it hits is, and then it ignores everything else. Unless you do a multi-sphere trace. See there? It's picking the SM cube. That's what it's hitting, which is what this ground is made out of, the SM cube. And then when we go in it, it's not adding us to the list. See there? So this needs to be a multi-sphere trace. Maybe we do 4 objects. Right? And then that we could tell it to only look for character blueprints as an example. So start, unhook this, put this here, unhook this, put this here. Actors to ignore, self, that'll be fine. Object types. Make array. And what we're looking for is a pawn. Okay. Delete that. Move this. Hook this back up. Break. Oh, wait, no, this would be a for each loop. For each loop. Then we would break this, I think. Get actor. All right, let's see if this detects the character now. May or may not. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, yeah. Okay, well, it's not detecting the floor anymore. Oh, wait a minute. It didn't spawn the damn... It didn't spawn the damn... Wait a minute. What the hell did I just do here? I broke something. Okay, now it's hitting the cube. Oh, I know what's going on here. Hang on a damn minute. Let's remove that. I know what it is. I think I forgot to turn on the draw debugger. Because of course I did. All right, how about now? I was wondering why my little spheres were disappearing. Well, they wasn't disappearing. They were never showing up in the first place. Actually, they are still not showing up. What in the damn hell did I break here? God damn it. So on event begin play, we're doing this. We're firing off these circles here. Out hit. That should be doing it. I'm missing something here. Maybe let's take that ignore out. I'm pretty sure that's not what's doing it. Yeah, they're totally disappearing. Did I somehow break this? Nope. Still spawning. And that didn't have nothing to do with it. Oh shit. Is it even doing this? Yep. All right. Fine. They're still going away. So what is causing them things to die? Okay. Maybe it's because I screwed that up some. I don't know. Something is forked. Because once it spawns those things, they're never going away. They're not set to destroy, so why are they going away? I don't get it. Now let's see if the hellos go away. No, they're still sitting there doing what they're doing. Obviously, it spawned them, but for some reason, I mean, that's still firing. What in the hell? See, this is still happening. So that means it's supposed to still be doing this sphere trace. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's right. All right, hold on a damn minute. This is pissing me off. I will put this shit back to the way that it was just to see if something I done screwed this up. I bet you I fucking got something hooked up wrong. Is what's wrong with it. Because why wouldn't it be? Oh, I already see what it is. I already see what it is, guys. Did you see it? Yeah, you kind of put a radius in here. Otherwise, it's 0. Hello. I thought you said you were a professional, Galt. Yeah, that's exactly what's wrong. I bet you the shit will work now and I'll just have to hook that back up again. Damn it. It's always the stupid shit that gets you, ain't it, guys? Oh, look, the spheres are still down there. Imagine that. Of course, we need to make them a little bigger now. Okay, we're on to it now. We're on to it now, damn it. Let's make them 100 big. Okay, and the only objects I want are pawns, and we're going to do this. And we're going to go through the loop body, and we're going to break that element, and we're going to print out when a character gets in it. All that for that. Really? Really? Yes, really. Oh, hell. I ain't even hitting the ground. Damn it. There, now that's what I'm trying to do. Now it should leave the little circles there. And obviously, when there's nothing in them, it shouldn't be reading there's anything in them. And if I get in one of these, oh, look at that. Oh, it's damaging me. See all them speckledy dots? And of course, you would probably, now that that's all sorted out, you would probably, actually, let's print that back out. This 0.2 right here, that's probably way too much. Like maybe do damage once every second or something like that. Because that's a little crazy. I mean, you'd be dead in no time. You know, unless you had 15,000 health. Okay, so now if we step in here, I mean, that's still dealing a lot of damage, but you can see that it's registering that it's hitting a character now. And when we're not in it, it's not registering it's hitting anything. And that's because we're telling it to look specifically for characters. Okay. So that concept would work, but that's a little bit much on the damage side, because see, what you would be seeing is every time that red pops up, it would be dealing damage. So you could imagine if you put in to only deal 1 damage per hit, see, it puts them so close together, the little circles. See there, I mean, that would be doing a shitload of damage. So what you would have to do probably is reduce the spawn rate of these things to maybe 1 every second here. And then that way it wouldn't put out quite as many of those little circles. See there, now, of course, that's still not ideal. But you got to remember too, you're faking it till you make it, right? So as long as you got some of these little circles spread out where the fire is, right? Well, that would make sense, because you wouldn't be getting burned if you're standing here. It would only be when you're in the fire. And then it would be administering damage every time that it lights up those little red checkers there. And you know, 1 every second, that might be a little too much. Maybe 1 every half a second. I'm just dicking around here with this anyway, so. Well, no, actually, it wouldn't be dealing that damage that much either, actually. It would depend on how you set it up, because every single one of those little dots, that wouldn't be administering damage. Let me think about this for a second. I mean, if you put a damage node here, it literally would be dealing damage every time that lights up, because every time it lights up, it is firing a print string. So that means that would be firing. So how would you... I set this up once before in a different project, a damage over time thing. So well, you would add it to an array. I suppose you wouldn't do it this way. You would make an array. You would add unique to array so that it only adds one. And then you would apply your damage at a rate as long as this is running. And then when it stops, so it would be better to do this on some kind of a timer, probably, instead of this. I mean, that would be fine there, I suppose. But after it does this, you would add it to an array, unique, right? So that it adds one. And then after it adds something to the array, then you would start a timer, something like that. But that is pretty neat. I mean, that would sort of work, but there's probably a better way to do that instead of spawning them things. See, if you're not close enough to the ground, it won't even spawn them, so... I'll tell you where I got an example of this at. For any of you guys that have purchased my multiplayer FPS basic from the Unreal Engine Marketplace, you guys have an example of how to do this. And I guarantee you it's probably a lot more complicated than I just made it. But this is why you buy reference projects, okay? It's so that you can go look and see how somebody did something. And it's been so long ago since I made this. But essentially what would be happening is exactly what's happening in this project. For those volumes that I put in here, that everybody asked me, what the hell did you put them in there for? Well, let me just show you why. It's because I put a damage over time volume and a heal over time volume in this project. So essentially what you would be doing in this mechanic that I just banged out here for no apparent reason, you would be spawning these damage volumes similar to what I have done in that project. I solved all the holy crap, it's dealing too much damage problem in this. So let's just go look at it, shall we? Okay. Yeah, see these volumes over here? Watch this. So when I get in this one, right here, it should start taking damage. See it? So pretend like that's fire burning you. Okay, so how the hell did I make that shit, I wonder? I don't know. I don't know. It's been too long ago. Oh, look here, team volume. Imagine that. And then if you go in here and look at the blueprint, voila. That's exactly how you do it right there. So damage over time if player is not on same team. Oh yeah, it's a lot more complicated than what I just dicked around with. And remember, this is for multiplayer too, so it is a little bit more complicated, but yeah. Event actor begin overlap. And that's where I'm checking if it's a character. Apply damage. Set timer by event. Oh, there it is. Okay, so I was on the right track. You do the damage. Oh, wait a minute. That's initial damage when you first cross into it. So there's more damage happening here somewhere. So this is where I'm setting a timer and I'm doing a box trace, which in this other one I just did a spear trace, so it would be similar. Where am I doing damage again? Ah, right here. So I'm getting all those out hits. I'm still looping through them, checking to see if it's a character. And each time it loops, when that loop completes, it applies damage to all the actors that are hit, if they're characters. Because that's where I'm adding them right here. Ah, I see how I did it. See, you guys should go buy that project. Shows you right there exactly how to do it. So this is doing a box trace instead of a spear trace, but it would be exactly the same thing. But you would be spawning things like this for the fire. You would be spawning spears based on this actor right here. Like literally, you could use this actor. You know, take that out and change the box to a spear. And then you would make the spear as big as the fire. Yeah, that would work. I would do that. Close, but no cigar. Holy shit, that's complicated. Who built that again? Yeah. Stuff's complicated, guys. Multiplayer is what makes it really complicated. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Well, now what are we going to do? So that's kind of how those burn jets would work. It would be similar to that. He was asking me about those. He was like, could you recreate this ability, that ability, and all that stuff? And I said, well, yeah, probably. So that would be, you know, you would have to have the proper effects and everything, but that would be something similar to how that burn jets worked. It caused the character to hover. It lit fire down on the ground. The fire burned for a duration, and if any player was in it or an enemy, it would deal damage over time like you were on fire. So all that's really missing here would be the fire coming out from the feet of the character. And then, of course, you know, you wouldn't necessarily want to do a trace from each foot, although you could do a spear trace from each bottom of each foot. Then you would spawn a particle that looks like fire coming down, and you would make your trace as long as your fire particle, because of what I mentioned earlier. You wouldn't want to be able to be all the way up here and still lighting the ground on fire. So that would be how that would work. Awesome. And then he was asking about all the firefall abilities, really, not just that. So Inferno Dash, there was a bunch of abilities. I'd have to look and do a lot of research to try to remember them all. Each class had at least 4 or 5 abilities on each class. So like that Fire Cat that you guys saw, it had Burn Jets was one that it would use. It had Inferno Dash, which that launches the character in a direction and it leaves a trail of fire similar to this behind it that does damage over time. And then you had like a recon class that could do like an artillery strike. I think it could turn invisible for duration. There would be a shitload of them. You had like a biotech class that could do something similar to that Inferno Dash, but it would let poison out. Poison out the back of it that would deal damage over time, and it would leave a cloud of a fog of poison behind it. And then you had one called Poison Creep or Toxic Creep or something, and what it would do is it would shoot a projectile out of the gun that would stick to the ground, and then it would spawn a big cloud of poison that would deal damage over time. So I don't think necessarily any of them would be that real hard to build, to create. But if he's wanting to go, if that guy that's wanting me to do this, if he's wanting to go all the way from ground zero, which I believe he is, this is something that would take quite a while. And to be honest with you, I don't know if he really realizes how long it would take or how much money it would take to do that. So I still haven't decided whether or not I would even do this, regardless of the money. I don't know. I mean, that's an awful lot of work. However, there is a lot of what he's asking is already set up in an old project that I have, that I built, that some of you may or may not have a outdated copy of. So we could go in here and have a look at this. And by the way, this is not available anymore, so don't ask. I have nothing but bad memories of this project here. But it can be used for reference, for sure. I don't remember. How far did I take this? Do you guys remember? I don't remember. Oh yeah, so we have Yep. And we have first and third person view. What else did I do to this? Oh yeah, melee. Grenades. Oh yeah, and abilities. What button did I set ability to? I don't remember. I guess I'll have to read my own instructions here. Oh, left shift. Okay. So yeah, there's afterburner. So all it would have to be added to that would be the Inferno dash part. Leave a trail of fire behind him when he does that. Wait a minute, how did I die? Oh yeah, I put the kill switch in it. Z to force respawn. Oh. So yeah, I mean, this could be used as reference. I wouldn't do first and third person again, though. It would have to be third person because doing first person complicates things dramatically. And then when you do first and third or third, oh my God, you guys have no idea how complicated that shit is. To do it the correct way, now if you're just slapping a camera on the head of a third person character, yeah, that's not very complicated. But doing it the proper way, look at this character blueprint. Holy crap. Yep, definitely. I wouldn't rebuild all this shit for love nor money. Oh, hell yeah, I even remember I put that in where when you're up against the wall, it makes your gun point down mechanic. Somebody requested. So your gun can't poke through the wall when you're in first or third. That was hell, by the way. I vaguely remember building this. Oh wow, I even put turn in place in this. Projectile inheritance? Oh my God. And I believe these grenades are sticky, actually. Oh yeah, see it stuck to the wall? Stick them to other players. Oh well, I could sit in here reminiscing about this shit all day. I don't remember how complicated the weapon blueprint got in here though. Oh wow, abilities. Not too bad. But there's only 2 types of weapons in here too, so of course it ain't going to be too bad. You start putting all them other shotguns, grenade launchers, homing rockets. That's when shit starts getting complicated. All this thing's got's 2 weapons. This gun and this gun. How did I do this ability? Do I remember how I did this? Let me look at this. Oh yeah. I did that as a an add-on, right? So yeah, I remember this now. I did this so that you could create a master ability and you could add all the different abilities to the same ability. So you wouldn't have to create a brand new blueprint for every single ability. You would expand this one and add well, here's an example. So this already has the ability Afterburner, which is where it launches them in the direction you're looking at a high rate of speed. So to make Inferno Dash, all Inferno Dash was this exact same ability. The only difference is it left a trail of fire behind him instead of it just launching him in a direction. So all you would have to do is take this ability, make a child blueprint, and then add in what it needs in order to make it leave a trail of flames behind it. And then that poison trail is essentially the same damn thing. The difference is it doesn't launch the character. It only puts out that trail of smoke for however fast your character's moving. So you would create a child blueprint of that ability, and then you would remove the launch part out, but leaving the trail of fire behind it, but change the particle from fire to look like a poison cloud. Interesting. Yeah, that could be done. Totally. I wonder if he's wanting to do... He never did say. I wonder if he's wanting to do PvP or if he's okay with co-op. See, because Firefall was technically just a co-op game. Now, Tribes, on the other hand, that was a strictly PvP game for the most part. So it would probably be better to do like a PvE co-op. Because that way you don't have to worry about balance quite as much, because you're not going to have a bunch of whining players saying, oh, that gun's OP, it needs nerfed, blah, blah, blah. Right? So instead it would be players playing together, taking on AI enemies of some sort, of all sorts. So PvE would be the way to go. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think I should do this or not? You guys think I should do this for this guy or not? I'm not so sure. I'm still not so sure that I'm going to commit to doing it. I just don't have the heart for this stuff like I used to, guys. You guys know that have been around here for a long time. I used to eat, sleep, breathe, and die game dev. And I'm just not that way anymore. I mean, I still find it fun and interesting, but I just don't devote as much time to it as I used to. I don't know exactly why that is. I mean, I guess it's because I was not able to achieve the compensation levels that I wanted to achieve on my own, and I always ended up having to work for somebody else. And when you're working for somebody else, that's the quickest way to lose your motivation, because they get you to do things that you don't want to do. Whether you find them unethical or not, it doesn't matter. You have to do what they pay you to do, regardless of whether you think it's stupid, whether you think it's exploitive, whether you think you're taking advantage of your players. It doesn't matter. You have to do what you're told to do and what you're paid to do. And I never did like that. You know, there's a lot of game mechanics that you guys see in games today that I absolutely hate. And I've been made to make them more than you guys probably realize. And that's disheartening, you know, especially when you see what it does to the players of those games. And some of you guys know what kind of games I'm talking about. Some of you may not. But any game that promotes elitism, gambling mechanics, addictive, taking advantage of, you know, humanity's weaknesses in order to monetize it. Vanity. Oh, look at this shiny skin I got. You're a shit player because you got no custom skins and stuff. You know, all that kind of shit. Buying power in games, like, you know, you have to be able to buy this upgrade for your character, or you're not even able to compete with other players. You know, that kind of pay to win, right? That kind of stuff for sure. And I always hated that. Well, how do you expect us to make money if we don't exploit humanity's vices? Well, how about this? Make a good game that people play just because it's good and want to play it and give you money to play it just because it's good. How about doing that? Oh, no. We can't do that. We got to have custom turkey hats and stupid tattoos that you put on your player, and, you know, make people in the game that ain't got money to waste on a game feel like they're left out because this person's got daddy's credit card and can spend $200 a month on Fortnite, blah, blah, blah. Holy shit, did I just go off on a diatribe all of a sudden? I guess I did. Pay to win, free to play, basically destroyed the gaming industry, in my opinion. You get games that are not finished, then they want to sell you an expansion pack for the game, which should have been included with the game. You have games like Fortnite, which are free to play, but we're going to entice players via their vices in order to get them to spend money on this game because it's free. Oh, you got to have this emote. You got to have this dance. You got to have this turkey hat, this skin. Oh, that's a free to play game. Well, how much you spend on Fortnite? Oh, I don't know, $8,000. Is it really free to play? Then, well, yeah, I played it for free. It didn't cost me anything. And those games that make you level up your characters, oh my God. Those are the worst. Oh, I got to go grind out this dungeon so that I can level my character up, blah, blah, blah. Or I can spend $30 and buy a booster and level it up instantly. Ugh. Those games make me want to vomit, guys. But anyway, with that, I'm going to get off here. I'll let you guys know what I decide to do. I'm going to have a conversation with this fellow next week that had asked me about doing this, and get some more details, and kind of hint around to him that, you know, this is going to be expensive. If you decide to do this and you really want me to do this, well, it's going to cost you this amount of dollars. And I'll also ask him if the rest of this community that comes here can be included in this somehow, and see what he thinks about that. So I'll get more details and I'll let you guys know. So with that, you guys take care. Thank you for coming and hanging out, even though I didn't do a whole hell of a lot of much. Maybe we will in the future, right? Maybe we'll get into something and actually work on, you know, what this guy's asking about. And if he doesn't mind, if he's paying for it and he doesn't mind, I'll try to my best to bring you guys along for the ride to see how we go from ground zero to building the basic locomotion of the project, and then start creating all the stuff to make, you know, the weapon loadouts, the abilities that go on them, try to recreate some of the abilities that you guys have saw in Firefall or Tribes. That's what he's interested in, maybe some new ones. But with that, you guys take care, and we will see you in the next video. Have a good one, fellows. And fellettes, there's ladies that come around here too, and I get shit for not saying that. So you guys take care.